back then, I decided immediately that I will not go back to this career and start something different. I followed my passion basically, even though I graduated as an economist and started working in HR. I decided to follow my passion, which at that time was food, basically. Launched my first online cooking course. Eventually, I could turn basically this kind of career into my biggest dream ever, and I opened up my own pastry shop, which I do not recommend for people with 3 kids. Even if it was a small family business, it was tough. It requires human labor. So I ended up after 2.5-3 years working 7 days a week with 3 small children. So it was really hard. So I couldn't go on like that anymore. And I made the tough decision to close the shop. I had to explain to other people why it's not a failure. That's my success.
What if I told you that walking away from your dream doesn't always mean that you have failed? Sometimes it's the best decision you'll ever make. Today's guest is Klara Ganter, a career coach, podcast host, and founder of Mompire Career Coaching, where she helps women rediscover their professional identity, build fulfilling careers, and create a success that actually fits their lives. But Klara didn't start there. She left a successful corporate career at one of the world's biggest consulting firms to pursue her dream of opening a pastry shop. It was everything she had worked for. Yet, after becoming a mom of 3 young children, she found herself facing a decision that many women quietly wrestle with. Can you have the career that you love without losing the life that you love? So instead of holding on to that dream that no longer fitted the season that she was in, she made a difficult choice to let go. And what felt like the end of one chapter was the beginning of even a greater purpose of her life. In today's conversation, we are talking career pivots, motherhood, identity, redefining success, and why some of the best opportunities come after we have the courage to change direction. Whether you're feeling torn between your career, your ambitions, your family, or wondering, is it too late for me to start again? This conversation will remind you that your purpose can evolve, and it doesn't mean that you have failed. That is growth. So let's dive in.
I started my career about 20-something years ago, and I started at a big company, a big international company here in my city, and I worked in HR. I was a learning and development manager, and then I got promoted and everything. So, climbing the career ladder as you should be when you leave university, and everything was fine. But it felt not really right for me. It was a too big environment, and from the outside, it seemed that I have the career of my life. It's great company, great career, but something just not felt right to me. It was really not my place. And at that time, I was already married, and I wanted to have children. So it was a kind of struggle. I saw immediately my colleagues who already had kids, how they struggle, and being in such a multinational environment, the global company, it was not easy to maintain the career as such. So when I had my first daughter back then, I decided immediately that I will not go back to this career and start something different. And basically, this different was at that time, I followed my passion basically, even though I graduated as an economist and started working in HR. I decided to follow my passion, which at that time was food, basically. Food blogging back then, 15-something years ago, was really big and started to grow. So I became a food blogger, and I organized many workshops and like cooking courses and workshops. I eventually launched my first online cooking course when all these cooking things online were not even a thing. So I was kind of a pioneer with that. So I sold a few of these courses, and then I eventually produced my own cookbook. So I basically did this all having a child, and actually at that time when I produced the cookbook, I already had 3 daughters. So combining being at home with them but still having something that I build next to them without having to go this classical 9-to-5 career. It's just really great because I could find the combination of my ambition, my passion, and also be there for my children. And it was really important for me not to have that stress to get them after school, or rushing from the workplace to picking them up and be there at every school event and things like that, which many moms struggle with, obviously. So I turned this passion basically into my career, and I built it in a way that I could balance my family life and my ambitions as well. And eventually I could turn basically this kind of career into my biggest dream ever. And I opened up my own pastry shop, which I do not recommend for people with 3 kids, looking back. But that was my really big thing. And, with 37, I guess, I thought I reached my career highlight. This is it. I did it. I made my dream come true. But opening a pastry shop, even if it was a small family business, it was tough. It requires human labor, so to say. So it's not something that you can do online. You really have to be on site, so offline, basically on site, and baking the cakes and going to weddings and working a lot in the weekends, which was really tough after a while, because the business becomes successful and more people ask for our cakes and events and wedding cakes. And basically I ended up after 2.5-3 years working 7 days a week with 3 small children. So it was really hard. So then I basically I couldn't go on like that anymore. And because it was a small business, it was no question that it was not that easy to give it to someone else and just be the owner and lay back and collecting the financials. It was not that easy, because it was a small business, even though it was successful and great. And we got on the cover of a wedding magazine with our cakes. And so it was starting to be a real success story.
Well done.
But
Well
after
done.
a while, I really felt that, sometimes moms say that, oh, my children miss me. But for me, it was rather the other way around as well. I miss my children, I was there for them. And my husband was and is super supportive. So that was no question that he helps out and with the kids and with everything. But still, I didn't feel that I'm whole, that my life is really what I wanted, even though I thought this is my dream. And I made the tough decision to close the shop. Because it was never a question that my family comes first and my children come first. And I thought that, okay, maybe this chapter is over and then I start something new again. Why not, right? I did it once. I transferred from corporate to business. Now it's time to prove myself on the other side again. And let's see, whether the corporate world still has something for me, because I was just exhausted. I'm rather the business type, so I'm not the employee type. But at that time I thought that I don't have any ideas what kind of business I should open after that, or what shall I do? So I thought that, okay, let's go back to corporate. I speak 2 languages beside my native language, Hungarian. I was a leader at, in my previous corporate positions. I led a shop, so I led a business. Right. So maybe I have a few skills, to bring to the corporate world. And I went to a coach because, after 15 something years of the corporate world, I didn't even know, what kind of CV is trending at that days. How shall I write my CV after that period period, just getting back into this world, and obviously applied for jobs, and I got a job. And fun fact is that when I closed my pastry shop, it was January 2020, and I had no idea with the whole world what will happen in a few weeks. And in 6 weeks or something, COVID just hit after I closed the shop, and maybe I was the only one who was happy about it. Because life basically, and that was kind of a breakthrough moment for me, because that's what podcast about, that I chose my family and life rewarded me for that, because everyone said, you are closing your shop, it was your biggest dream ever, you worked really hard to get to where you are with it. It's just starting to get bigger and bigger, and I said no, sorry, but I can't go on like this. And life rewarded me for that, because when COVID hit, it was no chance that I can go on with baking cakes when all the weddings were cancelled, everything, the whole calendar was shut down, and having 3 kids at home, homeschooling because of COVID, and baking cakes was not an option. So it was just not what I could do. And also the decision was absolutely mine, 100%. So it was not, something from the outside that forced me to give up my dreams or something like that. It was absolutely my decision. And by the time COVID hit, I already worked in the corporate world again, like for 2 or 3 weeks, literally just started. So that was kind of where I thought, okay, it can work. I left the corporate world, started a business, grew my kids, started a brick and mortar business, and then went back to corporate. So, okay, it works, right? So it's not easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, because it's not as easy as I talk about it. There was a lot of struggle behind it, and, self-doubt and all the things. So I went through all the highs and lows of that, but I did it. And after the corporate world, again, as I said, I'm not really the type who can be too long in a corporate world, because I have my own ideas, not the type. And after a while, it was not really something for me. And then when you hit kind of 40, after 40, you feel that, oh, I should do something like meaningful, make an impact, really turn to my purpose. And I already lived one of my purposes, baking cakes and making people happy through my baking and to flavors, so to say. But I felt that something more is in it. And I gave myself, after the 3 years again in the corporate world, a few months just to figure out, okay, who am I? Still, what life still has for me, and what are my strengths, what are my experiences, what are my skills, what can I do, how can I make an impact, what is my journey, what is my story. And basically I collected everything together. And after a few months, I just thought that, many moms ask me, okay, how did you have the courage to do all that, right? It's really not a linear path to jumping back and forth from the corporate business, and basically, trusting yourself. And of course, it's not that I was trusting myself all the time. No, absolutely not. There were really lows in that, and really low confidence and everything. But somehow I did it, and I always trusted my skills, that I can do it. I'm that kind of person who can do this job and that job, and I was always curious to learn something new. So I decided that maybe I could help moms with that, and help them to get over all these professional identity changes that women go through when they have children. Because many moms say that, oh, in a few months I go back to my previous life. There is no previous life after having children, right?
No.
It's definitely not that. You rather have to maybe grieve that person who you were before, or what you were doing before, but kind of embrace the new you and accept the new you, and find all the skills and strengths and highlights and the good things in this new person, and also find the additions that comes from motherhood in your career, in your professional life, because we learn so many things that cannot be learned in a job, like time management, or you can attend courses but motherhood, wow, that really
Wow.
teaches you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
really teaches you leadership and time management and all these
It
things.
does.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. And I'm actually glad that you've highlighted that. You've highlighted the fact that when you become a mom, when you enter into motherhood, you have a new identity. And there's no going back to where you were. You have to embrace the new identity. You have to adjust. You literally did that. You adjusted.
Yes.
You adjusted with the 3 children, even though it was very difficult, but you had to adjust. There was just no time, no opportunity to be moaning and complaining, but you just adjusted.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to applaud you for, leaving the corporate, starting your pastry shop. I mean, you were pursuing your dreams. And you also mentioned that you were one of the pioneers online at that time.
Yeah.
One of the first people. Okay, let's just go back to that side of your story. What did that season teach you about you? Did you really learn the time that you left corporate and set up a pastry shop? What is that lesson that you learned that you could not have learned whilst in corporate?
Definitely that the word impossible is not existing. It's just in our minds, and it's just a limitation. Because it's really hard to believe in ourselves. And as I said, sometimes it's not a thing that every day exists, or it's 100% all the time. Rather going up and down all the time. But really believing in myself, even though I don't have a backup of a big corporation behind me, and going my way, definitely taught me a lesson. Definitely. So I would say this that there is no impossible. If you want something, and if you really put in the work, then it will have some kind of outcome. I don't say that it will it will be or immediately a successful business. You have to work a lot for that, but definitely there is no impossible thing. If we want to change something in our life, we can absolutely. It's not easy. I don't say it's easy. It's definitely not easy, but it's possible. And to stay in a life that is not rewarding and not fulfilling, I think it's harder than do that change, to be honest.
So it's much easier to give it a go than not do anything at all.
I mean, on a long term, yes. Definitely. Because if you find your purpose, and if you find what keeps you fulfilling, and you live the life and the lifestyle you want, and with lifestyle, I don't necessarily mean the finances that you have, I don't know, what big cars or what big house, right? It's rather that you wake up every day and feel that, okay, I love this life. I don't want to change this. Maybe I have a hard day because of the children, or because of my work, or because maybe some clients are not coming like I want to have them, but still I live this lifestyle that I can balance my family. I can be there for them. I can be there on every school event I want. I can go shopping with them. I can, manage my time with them. Maybe I have to sacrifice on the other side that, for example, I work internationally, which means that I have a lot of time zone issues. So sometimes I work at 7 p.m. in the evening, but my kids are not that small anymore, so it does not affect them. I don't have to put them into bed anymore. They are teenagers, which is not an easy phase, but still, it's different to the baby phase, definitely. And sometimes, but sometimes in the afternoon I can take them to their classes and here and there. So I can be very flexible. And for me, for my personality, for my needs, that's just perfect. I'm completely fine with that. So if you find that kind of lifestyle where you can balance not really work and this work-life balance, but you can balance your inner self, that you can live your ambitions as well while being a mom that you want to be, that gives me a fulfilling life. Yes, absolutely. And on the long term, it's way better for me than working from 9 to 5 or even longer, which is usually longer, and asking
Yeah.
for permission to pick up my kids, basically, or stay at home with them if they are
Yeah.
sick or something, which is really I know that this is the case for many people, but this is really a shaming, to be honest, to be in that position to ask for permission to see your kids or take care of them. And I don't want to live that kind of life. And that's why I made it my purpose as well, to help other moms understand that we have a choice and we don't have to wait for the system to change, which might changes. Maybe there are companies who are already supporting moms. I see some good examples around the world, but generally this system was not built for moms at all, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah.
So,
Oh, definitely
but
not.
we can, and I can say it with confidence, because I lived in
Mm-hmm.
that. I worked in this system many times with
Yeah.
kids, before kids as well, and I see many people who are still working in this system, that they are struggling. Some moms really find the balance if they can work in a company that suits you. So I don't say that everyone should be an entrepreneur. It's not for everyone, but we still have a choice also within the corporate world to change, to find the job, or to stand up for ourselves, and not apologize that we are moms, and go in a job interview with confidence and already stating that I'm a mom and that's important for me. So there will be some things that I will not accept, or if the workplace is absolutely not supportive with these things and not flexible, then I have the confidence to go to another job interview, and maybe it takes a bit longer, but I can find where my values are accepted.
Absolutely, because we have to be moms first before anything else. That should be our priority, and everything else falls after
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I love that you are teaching women how to navigate in the workplace and prioritize being moms. Just looking back at your story, closing something that you prayed for and had to build from scratch isn't easy. I mean, we can talk about it, but it's definitely not easy.
No.
What was going through your heart when you realized that working 7 days wasn't sustainable with 3 small children? What was going through your mind, your heart? I mean, definitely you were not expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the whole business will be much slower. I made a business plan for 5 years, and then we fulfilled it after 2 years or something like that. So it was really fast. I thought I will baking, cakes, and all will be fine, and I will have my kind of hobby made into my business, and it just took off, which is great. But it basically, when inquiries are coming in about weddings and you are making something good, then people will recommend
Yeah.
you, which is awesome. I mean, that's everyone wants that in their business, right? That you don't have to
Yeah,
chase
that's
the
fulfilling. Yeah.
clients coming to you, and
Yeah.
giving the door, so to say, to another client, that I have this friend, and they will get married, and can I recommend you? Of course, and it was great.
Yeah.
But when you realize that, okay, this weekend I have to work again, and I had employees, so it was not like I had to work every day, but definitely it's, you don't have the weekends, which you usually have. You have Saturday and Sunday to rest, whatever programs you want to make with your family. And I couldn't. I had maybe Monday and Tuesday off. We were closed, but I still had to get the ingredients, or plan the marketing, or talk to clients, or write proposals for events, and it was just too much. I realized that I don't have the balance anymore, and everything is around the business, and I missed them. I missed the lazy Sunday mornings. I missed that we cannot make programs or cannot make anything with them on the weekends, because I have to work. And although I loved my work, and it was a struggle, because if you are ambitious, then you feel that my ambition is there. I have to kind of live it, but I'm still a
Mhm.
mom, so I want to be with my kids as well. So it was a real struggle. It went for months on and off, and sometimes it was better. And when you feel, it's the same, like when you are burning out in a corporate world, it's the same. You get symptoms.
Mhm.
Your
Yeah.
legs or arms are hurting, and your back is hurting.
Mm.
You are thinking, okay, but I had rest, and I had a good sleep, and
Mm.
working out, so I cannot be sick or something. But you still feel that it kind of eats you up,
Yeah.
also your body, and you have to really look at those symptoms, and ask yourself certain questions, which are not necessarily comfortable questions, because if you have a dream and you live it,
Yeah.
uh, and you ask this question, that maybe I should close it, and what's next, right? And that's a big
Mm.
big question mark in your head,
Yeah.
and you struggle
Yeah.
with it because you
What's
work
next?
so
Yeah.
hard for something. And then it's basically a mindset change. And I can phrase it in a way that if you change workplaces or careers, or pivot your career into something very different, um, it's basically like moving houses. So you pack all your things, or your skills, or
Mm.
your experience in your boxes, and you take it to another place and pack out from those things what you need, right? Or what you like. Sometimes we
Mm.
leave some things behind, but usually
Yeah.
we pack all things and just put it in a different environment. So I understood that all this experience, and all this learning, or all this skills that I gained with the pastry shop, for example, or before in the
Yeah.
corporate one, I can use in another business, maybe in a different way. I
Absolutely.
don't have to buy flour, or I don't have to bake a cake, but I still, have to design my own system within my business, as I did in the pastry shop. Or maybe I will have employees. Or when I went back to the corporate world, I was a people operation manager, or head of people operation, whatever the title was. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to deal with a team of 25, and basically build a human system, so to say, human resources system from scratch at that company, because it was complete chaos. And it was just the same, just in a bigger size that I did in the pastry shop. I had employees, I built a
Mm.
system. We had performance reviews, and all these kind of things. So I could take all this experience what I had there,
Yeah.
and take it to the next station of my life, so to say.
Mm. Absolutely. Yeah. There's no skill which is wasted, to be honest.
Yeah,
You can use
absolutely.
any
It's
skill.
just used in a
Yeah.
different way, or in a different environment. And maybe there are some things that you will not use as such, but you will learn new things.
Mm.
Just when you move houses, there are sometimes empty walls you have to fill with new things, right? So,
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
great,
Yeah.
because it adds to your experience, and to your life, and to your
It does. Yeah.
personality.
It does. Yeah. And before I go to the next question, whilst I was listening to you, and obviously you were also in the wedding industry, I realized that, what, let me just share a bit of my story as well, because I was also in the wedding industry. I was designing wedding gowns,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to pivot. I pivoted like I think about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and then I pivoted into coaching. And the
Mm-hmm.
very interesting thing, which I'm sure you can also relate, is when you are in that industry, you are offering products. And
Yeah.
when you come online, when you're now coaching and doing all the, now you're offering a service, and
Yeah.
the way you sell yourself is completely different. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can relate to that, because when you're
Yeah.
selling a product, people can see the product,
Yeah.
but when it's a service, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
I
but
thought
but
that.
also that's interesting that you bring that up. But also I realized after a while that whenever people came to taste the cakes, okay, what kind of cake you want to your wedding, and what kind of flavor, and
Mhm.
things like that. But they
Yeah,
also were coming because of me and my personality, and exactly what I was talking about. This I can take on.
absolutely.
I cannot offer any flavors anymore, but I can
Yeah,
offer myself. And it was
yeah.
very interesting, because there was a certain type of clients who came to our pastry shop, if you know what I mean. We don't have really, bad clients or really fussy clients or messy ones. We always had great clients. And I think this was because I set kind of the rules, and, as how I presented myself, I attracted a certain type of people or certain type of clients. And this is the same now as well. So if you have a personality, you attract a certain type of people, and basically this is what you can move with your houses into your new business, right? Your personality and the way how you talk, and the way you show up, and the way how serious you are with your things, and how you sell yourself, not your service or not your product, but how and this is the same, I guess, with you as well. So you show up in the same way, right? And that's what I'm talking about, that those skills that you had when you sold your wedding gowns is basically the same as you selling your services now.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you bring that up. I just get the feeling that some of the people, like some of the coaches or service providers, have not really caught up on that, because right, we've got ChatGPT and everything. It helps people do A, B, C, D and all. But at the end of the day, the personality, it's you. I mean, people connect to you.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are pulling out themselves out of the equation, and they're just posting and doing also, but they're taking their personality out of the equation, or maybe they're trying to be someone else they're not.
Yeah, exactly. And it's great that you bring this up, because ChatGPT unifies everything, so to say. So what can, and people say that, oh, we will lose our job because of ChatGPT. Yes, maybe, or AI, maybe there are some jobs that we will lose, but those kind of things like coaching, which requires absolutely the human side of it. And you can use ChatGPT as a help, or design some things or phrase certain things. But your personality, the human side, will only come through if you let it come through and don't hide it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Do you at any point wrestle with the feelings like you have failed after you have closed your pastry? And if so, how did you reframe that season?
Honestly, not really. I wouldn't say failing. I would say I dealt more with self-doubt, and whether I can really bring those skills into the corporate world. Is there anything left for me after that? Will the corporate world, accept me, so to say, in a position that requires really my skills? Because everyone can find a job that is under their skills, right? So I can go to, I don't know, administration or whatever, which is completely not my thing. And but I would be happy to do it if I had to, but it's definitely not those leadership skills that I really have and are confident with. So it was rather that whether I can find, I'm always looking forward, and not looking really back. Whenever I made the decision was made with intention, and it was a very conscious decision that I close it. So failure, no, I rather had to deal with people who thought that this is a failure, if you know what I mean. And this is not necessarily a nice thing to have, because I had to explain what I really understand in my mind, that it's not a failure. It was just a phase of my life. Maybe I never wanted to have it for the rest of my life. I don't know. But in my mind, I live my life freely with these decisions. So whenever I want to do something else, I can start over. I know that it's not easy, but I can start over. And I don't think that's a failure, because I learned a lot from that, a lot, really. I don't know, it was 3 years of massive learning, with everything. So I didn't think it's a failure. I had to explain to other people why it's not a failure, why I don't feel that it's a failure. And that's it, basically.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that the fact that you are really emphasizing that it wasn't, and you didn't get to that point whereby you felt like it was a failure, because it wasn't, for sure. It wasn't a failure. It was just you repositioning yourself, you
Yeah,
taking the
yeah.
next step of your life.
Sometimes, we think that we have a dream, but and as I said, I had this dream to have this pastry shop, and I did it. I made
Yeah.
it happen, but after that I realized this is not 100% my dream, and I think that's rather a learning, not a failure. So you get to the point, and I think that this takes also courage to decide
Yes.
opposite to your dreams, that I thought this is it, but it's not. It's like, we have these situations all the time in our life. We see
Yeah.
a nice recipe, or we see, on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok or whatever, Facebook, whatever,
Yeah.
Instagram,
Then you try it.
so see a nice meal, and okay, I make it, or I try it in a restaurant, and it's just not I thought it's good. It's not. I don't like it. I thought I will like it. I'm not liking it. Or the same with clothing, of course, you know uh, um pullover or a meal is not that serious as a career, but we can that we like something, and then it turns out that
Yeah.
we don't, right? So it's okay to say that I tried it, but I don't like it.
Mm.
It's I rather say this than I say
Yeah.
I never tried it and I don't dare to try it, and I decide that I don't like it before trying it.
Absolutely. And it goes back to what you said earlier when you were saying that it's much easier to at least try,
Yeah,
something new than not do it at all, you know.
yeah, exactly,
And I
exactly.
have a feeling that some people don't dare to try new things because they're afraid of what people will think. They're afraid that people will think that they
Yeah,
failed.
yeah.
But you know what? Like what you said, you're better off trying something. If you don't like it,
It's okay.
you're not tied. It's okay. You're not tied to it for life. If it doesn't, if you don't
Yeah.
like it, you don't like it.
Yeah, and you have to, respect yourself enough to live your own life and not take care what other people's are saying, because that's what they are saying. It's their thoughts about your business, but who cares? It's my life. I have
Exactly.
to live with the afterlife of my decisions, not them. Right? If I don't get another job, or I fail in my business, it's my life. I will feel everything about that, mentally, financially, and everything. It's not their it's just their opinion, but the decision is ours, and we have to live with our decisions, not they don't have to live with the afterlife of our decisions. Definitely.
Absolutely. And if you really look at it, whichever way people talk, whichever way people are going to talk, whether you stay there doing whatever you're
Yeah,
doing or you change, they're still going to talk. Whether they're doing good
yeah.
or bad, they still have something to
Just imagine,
criticize.
how many opinions mom get, right? When you get pregnant, it starts immediately, right?
Yeah,
You should
yeah,
wear this, you should eat this, you should,
yeah,
do workouts, you shouldn't do workouts. Then the child is there. Okay, you should, do that practice with sleeping. You should breastfeed, you should not breastfeed at all. And it just goes on and on. If you are a stay-at-home mom, that you are not ambitious enough. If you go to work, you are too ambitious, you don't like your children, and and
hmm
anything
hmm
in between. So no matter
hmm
what you're doing, people will have their opinions. So why care about that? Right?
absolutely.
Why please others, right? Please
hmm
ourselves first, our families, and our
Yeah,
needs. Then people can have an opinion. I don't mind.
yeah, exactly. People will always have an opinion anyway, so
Yeah.
let them get on with it.
Yes.
So, so Clara, how did your definition of success change from working 4 days to entrepreneurship to now? What is your definition of success right now?
That's a great question, and I can think whenever we start our careers, the definition of success is position, salary, or these kind of things. But for me now, after having not linear career of, I don't know, more than maybe like 25 years almost. I think the definition of success for me is that I can live my purpose, I can work whatever I want, and that I have the freedom of decision. That's my definition of success now. It's on me how I decide about my life. I'm leading my life. I'm the CEO of my life. And that's a success for me. I don't care about position or salary or money as such. So it's not money is not a goal. It's an addiction. It's great to have and great to have rewarded financially for what you do, and what, you know, in my case, helping others. It's great, but it's not the goal. The goal is to live this kind of lifestyle that I wanted to live. And as I said, it's not a financial lifestyle necessary. So it's not like, you know, living in a big house and having a certain type of car, or, you know, not that's nice to have. That's great. And that gives you, you know, access to certain things like, I don't know, traveling or whatever your hobbies are. But it's rather the everyday thing that you can live your purpose and that you can do whatever it's comfortable with you in your life. That's my success. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that your definition of success is not built on monetary gains or being materialistic, but it's more focused on family, the things that some people overlook.
Yes.
Is what I love about your definition of success, because some people may define success based on having a nice, having the cars, having these massive houses, but it goes beyond that.
Yeah.
And I love that your definition really is aligned to something greater than just what you possess materially.
Yeah. Because at the end of your workday, if you are talking about career, you go home and see who is around you, right? You don't sit in your car, in your big car, or you can sit in your big house, maybe alone. Great. But for me, it's rather who I spend my evenings with.
Absolutely. It's not sitting in your car and admiring what you've done. You have
It's a big car. Now I have my dinner alone. Right.
Exactly. Do I have peace when I enter that home? Who is waiting for me in that home? I mean, that is part of success.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, your mom, you know, when I enter that house, just the joy of knowing that maybe you've got a spouse, a husband, whatever it is. I've got my children as soon as I enter the house. You know, that is so fulfilling.
Yeah.
And just having to enter a home and there's so much peace, that is just success. That cannot beat any monetary success.
Yes.
I mean, that is success.
Yeah. And I really believe in that if you are doing what you really like, money will follow you. So it's just like that, because you can give yourself, you know, you can be authentic, and people like that and reward that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, definitely. Money will follow. Money always follows. Yeah. Oh. So tell me, Klara, going back to corporate after being an entrepreneur, I can imagine, I can define that as really humbling. In my opinion, that is truly humbling. So what did this transition teach you about surrender, about timing?
I mean, it definitely was a very different lifestyle because I had to go, I mean, before COVID for this few weeks and after COVID settled down and we had to go back at least for a few days in the office. It was definitely a logistic problem, so to say, you know, having 3 kids and going to an office from, it was not 9 to 5, it was a lot more than that. Because it was a leadership position and you cannot have a part-time job, sadly, in a leadership position. So it was definitely hard to adjust the whole family's routines to that new kind of life that we were living. It needed a lot more organization from my side and from my husband's side as well. So there were a lot of practical things that need to be changed, definitely. And mentally, it was again a challenge, so to say, because and I understood that challenge completely. So it was fine. I was actually happy about that. If you're an employee, people made decision without you, so to say. So you cannot really, even if you're in a leadership position, you have to follow some decisions, rules from the owner, from your boss, and so on. And that was definitely a challenge, because before that I made all the decisions, right? So it's if you are not understanding that kind of challenge, what it takes to, okay, now you are told what to do, and it's not you who tells everyone what to do, and maybe you have a different opinion how you would do it, or these kind of things. It was a challenge, definitely, but I understood that. And actually, after being an entrepreneur, it was kind of deliberating as well, to not to make all the decisions by myself. So I kind of embraced that part, what many people don't like. So I was like, oh, when I was in that position, I don't want to be in that position right now. I'm so happy that I don't have to, do this or that. So I was just, it was a great experience. And it was also a different experience working. It was not a big company. It was a company of 30 people. It was a very small one. But still, there were teams. You had to work together with other people. It was definitely a different size, very different industry, very, very different industry. So it was a challenge. But if you understand that that's a different kind of challenge what you had before, you feel confident with it, actually enjoy it. So it's not like, okay, because many people think if you go back from entrepreneurship to a corporate, even if it to a leadership position, that's again some kind of failure, or, you go under your skills, or, it's stepping back or something like that. And it's not. I was afraid that I will have these kind of feelings that, I'm something less now because I'm not leading my own company, so to say. But I never felt this, actually. And I try to enjoy all these that are coming with working in the corporate world, to have teams, to, as I said, someone else makes the decisions, and I'm finally being told what to do and don't have to figure everything out by myself. I can ask certain people, okay, what, before a decision, let's talk and let's help each other. So I rather enjoyed those kind of things after a while. Of course, after 3 years, I was I was fed up with all these, and I said, okay, on the long term, I rather do my own decisions. But at the time, it was just great to have that. But I understand those people who say that going back to corporate is, like stepping back or something. I don't think so, that it's stepping back. It's again just a different era of your life, and you still can learn a lot and have all those experiences. And actually, it's great if you work in the corporate and go after that, you have your own business, because you have a model that you can kind of follow, or at least you have certain things that, okay, it was done like that at this company, maybe I will do it like this, or the opposite with my business. So it's a great learning.
That's true. And I'm glad you highlighted that, because let's just think about this. You were running your pastry shop, and it was a very small business, and now you've had to go back to corporate, and obviously you're now answering to someone, which is not something that you were no longer doing.
Yes.
But like you said, it's a learning curve, because whilst you've gone back there are a lot of things that you get to learn that you would not have learned in your own pastry shop. So it's a matter of just taking all those things that you're learning and then pour them in your new venture, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So as you said before, no experience or skill is wasted. So you can learn a lot at every position, you know. I have clients who are in the corporate world but want to escape it because it's no longer sustainable because they are moms. And but it's not like, okay, I can leave tomorrow because there are finances, you know. It's not an easy decision to like jump off the cliff right now. So we are always talking about, okay, let's see what you can learn still from this position, even though you completely know and are aware of that it's not for you. You don't like it, you hate it, you don't like to go there. You know, it's not that easy, but let's look at it from the point of view, what kind of skills you gain here and what kind of experience you have, which you can confidently, you know, or with confidence, collect it with confidence. And then, as I said, when moving houses, when you go to your next place, wherever it's a different corporate position or your own business, you can just take it and have all these things and take it with you and use it. So at every workplace, no matter how bad it is right now, you can find things that you know that are in your favor, so to say. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. You will definitely find things which are in your favor. So it's just a matter of really looking for those things that are in your favor, and not just dwell on the mindset of thinking that you have, you know, gone backwards. When did you realize, okay, I'm building again, but this time it's aligned differently? Like, what felt different the second time that you had to rebuild?
Many things. I knew that I don't want to have a brick and mortar business, and it was not even an option. So I knew that it will be something very different. I basically collected all my experience and skills and started over. And I knew that I have to plan this business with boundaries first mindset. So no way that I will again work 7 days a week. No way. So I still do that to this day, that I first plan all my family things and, you know, personal things. And then where I have obviously a lot of space, I put my clients in, but it's not the other way around. So, and when I have to say no to a client, I don't take up too many clients. In a month. So I'm working with a very small amount of clients, and that's a very, very intentional decision of mine. You know, people find me in all the spaces. Don't you want to scale your business? No, I don't want to scale my business right now. Maybe in a few years I want to scale it, but right now I'm completely fine with it. It's my strategy, so to say. It's my business decision that I don't want to grow again from 0 to, I don't know, you know, high in 2 weeks. No, I don't. I had that, was nice, but it's not something I want right now. So I was definitely building this business with a lot more intentional strategic mindset. And that's why I do with my clients as well, that we are building a strategy for an exit, for example, from the corporate world. And it's not jumping off the cliff and, okay, let's do everything in once. It's rather the strategy that I follow through, and I know I will reach my goal. It's maybe a matter of time, but within this time, I can have this balance that I was talking about. So boundaries first, clients next. That's my motto. Yeah.
Boundaries first, clients next. Yeah, because a lot of people don't really know how to draw boundaries when it comes to, you know, running their businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they are so happy. Yeah, they are so I started a business. Oh, clients are just flushing in. Great. And then they end up working more as in the corporate world. And that was exactly the opposite goal that they wanted to have. So, yeah, boundaries first, definitely.
So why do you think many of the professional women feel pressure to minimize their motherhood in corporate spaces? What would it look like to fully own it instead? owning your motherhood in the corporate space?
Yeah, I think, as I said, the corporate system was not really built for moms. They are not really flexible. They think that if you are there on site, then you're really doing great, but they are not looking it from the perspective what is done, rather than you have to be here in the office and show yourself, and we have to see you, otherwise you are not working, and all this, and they don't really respect motherhood. But in my experience with my clients, it's like, the corporate system thinks that having a child is just like a flu. It will go away in 2 weeks and you come back and everything is just before, right? So, but it's not a flu. It will stick with you forever. It's really hard mentally, physically to have a child, to give birth to a child. It's not something, it's not a sickness that goes away and nothing happened. It's really an identity change. It's really a very big change in women's lives. So, and the corporate world is just not ready to ask questions, to have answers, to it's like really going back to after giving birth is just like really having the flu, and there is no re-entry plan, for example, for women. There is no such thing as when a newcomer comes to a company, no matter in what position, they have an onboarding. Moms don't have an onboarding, a re-onboarding plan. There are very few places that offer these kind of things. And even in, and then is this flexibility, the time issue, that whenever you go to a job interview, you kind of apologize or hide that you are mom, but, it's kind of obvious because of your age, of, how you talk. Everyone knows that what is going on. They cannot ask. It's not political correct. You don't want to say it. For example, you don't have to apologize for your motherhood. You have to put it as a statement. So it's like the two kind of sentences. One is like, I have children, so I have to maybe leave earlier, I don't know, on these days, right? And I'm sorry to say that. That's one sentence. The other one is, I have to leave earlier on Wednesday and Thursday because I have children. It's a statement, right? So it's a very different point of view how you look at these things, I think.
Yeah.
And that's when people feel sometimes ashamed that they are moms and they immediately have to apologize and say sorry. You don't have to. It's a completely natural thing in your life. So yeah, that's it.
And thank you for bringing that out. So to speak to the other mom, to the moms that they feel that they have to apologize for being a mom, or of trying so hard to hide that they're moms so that they can just fit in and not stick out. But like you said, this is not a flu. It's not going away. It's not like after 2 weeks, you'll be
ready for everything again. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So they just have to lead with the truth of them being mothers and stand by that.
Yeah.
I love
that. And
that.
embrace all the skills and strengths that we gain through motherhood. This counts. This counts in a workplace as well. Yeah.
Can you share one or two of those skills that you feel that this skill, I learned it from being a mother, and I've had to actually apply it in my own workplace whilst I was working in the corporate world? Can you just mention one or two of those things?
Yeah, I think time management, definitely. So, when a mom needs to leave the house with 1 or 2 small children, get them ready, have lunch for them, organize certain appointments, the doctor or wherever they have, it makes you really a really great organizer and really great. You can really deal very great with your time. So it's a perfect example, but also leadership skills. I always say this example that would you apply for a job that is a job for a CEO without any experience, any training, any education? You wouldn't, right? You wouldn't dare to send your CV in. But whenever you become a mom, you immediately become this person. You become a CEO. You have to decide about another human's life, which is a huge thing, right? You have to be really confident to decide what kind of medication I give to my baby, when is the point when I have to take him or her to the doctor. Why is he crying? Why is the baby doing this or that? You have to watch all the symptoms of your baby, whether there's something wrong or everything is fine, and dealing with all this in a very, very loud noise, which comes from the outside, how you should do that, right? How you should be a parent and all these things. So whenever you become a mom, you become a CEO of your kind of family. You make all the decisions. You can delegate all the tasks, for example, as well. You can ask for help. And this kind of confidence that you can gain from this mindset that actually you are leading something, it gives you immediately the leadership skills as well. And if you understand that, you can show up a lot more confident in your workplace as well, because what can be more important than you are saving lives all the time, right? It's nothing in comparison, probably, what you are doing at your workplace, unless you are a doctor or something. But many people are not a doctor. They're just doing something at the company. And this can be not that important that what you are doing at home to raise a human being. And to gain the confidence from this gives you immediately the right to embrace those skills that you gain, like leadership, as I said, time management, organization, for sure, and many others, really. If you think about your own life, what you can do. You become a salesperson, I don't have many moms have, people or kids get sick. They have serious illnesses where moms are really collecting money or, for treatments and things like that. And they are not salespersons, but they can collect a lot of money out of that because, they have to, because they have no other chance to heal their babies. And that's a great skill. I mean, I don't say that it's a great skill to have, because it's better that you have a healthy child, obviously. But, moms have so many hidden talents and skills that if it comes to a point, you will go and do it, right? Or if you have to just stand up for,
you have to.
In the school, I had situations where I had to talk to teachers who were not really nice to my children or something like that. Or, you have to deal with all this situation and stand up for your child, stand up for yourself, which you not necessarily do on your workplace, because there you are, I'm happy to be here and, get my salary at the end of the month. But otherwise I'm shut up because, they will fire me. But if it's about your child, you just go there and fight, right? You just stand up for yourself and immediately have that strength. So we have to kind of embrace these things and find your things in the daily life, what many things we do, and bring it to the workplace and stand up for ourselves that I can do this. It comes to a point.
I really, really love the connection, the way you have really put that across, because I want to believe that most of the moms that are working out there have never really seen the connection. First of all, you mentioned that every mom is a CEO, because you are a leader. You're a leader to your own child or your own children.
Yeah.
And you spoke of all those qualities, timekeeping, all those things that you have to do. And when times are hard, or when there's something that is coming against your child, you don't care. You are going to go against that person or whoever it is to support your children. And with all these qualities that you're mentioning, if these qualities are the same qualities that you just need to transfer into your corporate job or your business, you'll be amazed at how much we have as women or as parents. We can actually take on the skills that we have that we can actually put into our careers. I love that. I really love that. And I'm sure a lot of people that are going to be watching this, a lot of moms are really going to resonate with what you're saying, and they're really going to be nodding their heads, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I think you have really hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
People
And
need
that's
to stop
what my
making
programs are
excuses.
about. Yeah, that's what we are doing
Yeah,
with my clients. We bring
good.
out those strengths and
Yeah,
those superpowers, absolutely, and then
yeah,
put it into a different environment if it's needed. Yes.
absolutely. Because moms need to stop giving apologies for being a mom. You don't need to make excuses. You don't need to try and fit in and remove the title of motherhood so that you can make everybody around you happy in the workplace. Just
Yeah.
take those skills,
Yeah.
connect them to
It's
what you're
it's not a
doing. Yeah,
motherhood is not a lack of something that you miss out
no,
something. It's more like an adjustment and a great asset that you can always turn to when it comes to that. It's a great thing, but exactly that's the kind of mindset change and the transformation that we are making with my clients, because to coming out of their shells and finally embrace motherhood, because that's what every mom wants, right? It's not like
yeah,
some moms feel that, okay, I have now children, I'm in a trap or something, I cannot express myself because I'm a mom and I have to take care of them, I cannot be successful because I have children. That's not fair, to say that. Not even towards the children. And what we are showing to our kids, that it's possible. We tell them all the time, you can be anything what you want, right? I told that my children, everyone tells them to their children. So it's
yeah,
time to say it to the person in the mirror as well, that you can be anything you want. It's just a matter of mindset and also like facts, these skills. It's not something energetic or something, these kind of spiritual things. It's there, it's really
mm,
there.
yeah,
I just show them the facts that this is you.
yeah,
Hello.
exactly. Hello. Yeah,
Hello. Yeah, this is you. It's in
yes,
you. Not I gave you
yeah,
those skills. It's in there. It was always there. It's just hidden somewhere in those
yeah,
boxes.
yeah. Yeah. And another thing, just to add on to the mix, is the skill of multitasking. As
Oh
moms,
yeah,
we've
absolutely.
mastered that skill. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
so Clara, for the mom that is listening right now, I want you to speak to that mom who's listening right now and they feel that they are behind,
Hmm.
or maybe she feels that she's behind in her
Yeah.
career. What would you say to her directly? What would you say to that mom who's feeling like they are behind?
You are absolutely not behind. You are maybe behind on your own journey, but you don't have to compare to yourself to other moms. It's not a competition. And if you feel that you are behind in your own journey, then get some help. There are many career coaches. There are many coaches who are dealing with moms. I'm doing both, so I always have the programs where we not only take care of the career, but always with motherhood in our minds. So it's really sometimes even a short consultation can help to make you a bit more confident. But everything is in you. You are perfect as you are. Maybe you need some help to unpack those boxes. That's it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. Lastly, how has your faith guided your pivot? Were there moments where you had to trust even when the outcomes weren't clear?
Oh, at the time. Oh, at the time. The outcome is not always clear because it can change through the road, through your journey.
Yeah.
You have a kind of vision in your mind that you are following and you break it down into small steps. As a strategy, you have like, I don't know, 1 year plan, or, what I will do today or tomorrow or next month to reach this goal or reach this kind of vision. But the outcome, as in my case as well, it can change. It can turn out differently, but to have that confidence to change it, that matters absolutely. So faith, you have to really believe in yourself, and that is easier if you know those skills and have facts about you, like as a doctor checkup, right? If you don't know what is going on in your body, you are not that confident that, okay, what should I do? Shall I eat this or shall I not eat this? Or what shall I do? But if you know the facts, you immediately know where you are heading at, and that helps a lot. But you have to really trust and believe in yourself. And if you can keep a human alive, believe me, you have those skills. So you have absolutely the right to believe in yourself and have the faith in your journey.
Awesome. So to that person that is listening or who was listening to our conversation, Klara, and they resonate with the conversation we've just had, they are a mom, or maybe they're about to become a mom, and they want to know how they can connect with you, where they can find you, and how you can actually assist them and work with them in that journey that they're on. Where can people find you, Klara?
The easiest way is to find me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, and there are all the connections that I have. They can book a free advisory call with me. That's pretty easy, and then we can discuss. Okay, is it me who I can help them, or are those programs that I created the right for them? I created 3 programs for moms for different phases of motherhood. I have Crossroads, for example, when you don't know what your next step is, but you know that something needs to be changed. I have the From Corporate to Mompreneur program, which is kind of the exit plan, so to say, a strategic exit plan that we are creating when and how to leave confidently the corporate world and not to jump off the cliff. I have Career Restart for moms, for those who were maybe a stay-at-home mom or, want to start all over. So there are different coaching programs. All these are one-on-one programs. So moms will work with me, not in a group, so it's very personalized, but we follow a certain kind of script in all those programs because each mom has a different need. Each mom is in a different phase in their motherhood, in their careers. But I can promise that the transformation will come, and we always keep motherhood in first place. Even if we are talking about careers. So yeah, that's it basically. LinkedIn, find me on LinkedIn through my name. I also have a podcast, The Working Mom Show, so that's also something they can listen to.
All right. What's the name of your podcast?
It's The Working Mom Show. So
The Working Mom Show.
It's also an interview-based podcast. I interview moms, obviously, who either transitioned from corporate to business or are in that process, or, they share all their expertise within motherhood and career.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Klara. Thank you for sharing all these nuggets with us, and thank you for sharing your story. You didn't hold back. And I really enjoyed your story. I learned 1 or 2 things through our conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming down to just have a chat with me. Thank you so much. So for those who've been watching and you've enjoyed today's conversation, let this be a reminder that motherhood is not the end of ambition. Motherhood is often a refining fire that reveals your strength when it comes to courage, to resilience, leadership, time management, and empathy. So instead of hiding being a mom, we need to embrace that as part of our professional identity. That needs to be your identity first before anything else. So if this conversation has encouraged you, share to another mom who needs to hear and be reminded that the calling didn't disappear. It may just look a bit different. And before we go, I normally like to leave a verse based on the story that Klara shared with me. I just want to remind us of Jeremiah 29, verse 11, which says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So I'll leave that verse with you. And if you've enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to like this video, share it with a mom who needs to hear this, and be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any of the conversations that we will be having on this place. So remember, your path is evolving. You are a mom, but it doesn't mean that you are losing a lot, but you are just evolving. So do take care. I'll see you in the next conversation. For now, we are checking out. Take care. Thank you for joining us in today's Breakthrough Conversation.